Do you truly understand what wet food does to your cat when it becomes part of their daily diet? Most cat owners assume that wet food is simply a more enjoyable or slightly higher quality alternative to dry kibble. On the surface, it seems like just another feeding option. However, what actually happens inside your cat's body goes far deeper than most people realize. Daily consumption of wet food can gradually influence internal processes, affecting organ function, hydration levels, metabolism, and even behavior patterns. These changes are often subtle at first, but over time, they can completely reshape your cat's overall health and well-being. Once you become aware of these effects, it may significantly change the way you approach your cat's diet. Let's break down what really starts happening from the very first day. Point 1. Their body finally receives proper and consistent hydration. Many cat owners notice that their pets rarely drink water, and they often assume this is unusual or unhealthy behavior. In reality, it is completely natural. Cats evolved as desert predators, meaning their ancestors survived in environments where standing water was scarce. Instead of relying on drinking, they obtained most of their hydration from the prey they consumed. Because of this evolutionary background, modern cats still have a very low thirst drive. Their bodies are not designed to compensate for dry diets by drinking large amounts of water separately. The problem arises when domestic cats are primarily fed dry kibble, which contains only about 10% moisture. This forces their bodies into a constant state of mild dehydration. Over time, this can place unnecessary strain on their kidneys and urinary system. Wet food, by contrast, contains approximately 75 to 80% moisture, closely resembling the natural composition of prey animals. When wet food is introduced as a daily staple, hydration levels improve almost immediately. This leads to several important physiological benefits. The kidneys no longer need to concentrate waste as heavily, which reduces their workload. Urine becomes more diluted, lowering the likelihood of crystal formation and urinary blockages, conditions that are not only painful but can become life-threatening if untreated. In essence, your cat's body begins to function in a way that aligns more closely with its natural biological design. This improvement in hydration also supports nearly every other system in the body, making it one of the most important foundational changes. Point 2. Their weight and metabolism begin to shift in a healthier direction. Weight issues are extremely common in indoor cats, even among those whose owners carefully monitor portion sizes. This often leads to frustration, as it may seem like the cat is gaining weight despite not being overfed. The root cause frequently lies in the composition of the food itself. Dry kibble is typically high in carbohydrates, sometimes making up 40% or more of the formula. While this may be convenient from a manufacturing perspective, it does not align well with a cat's natural dietary needs. As obligate carnivores, cats are biologically adapted to process protein and fat, not large amounts of carbohydrates. When excess carbohydrates are consumed, the body struggles to use them efficiently for energy. As a result, they are more likely to be stored as fat, contributing to gradual weight gain. Switching to wet food changes this dynamic significantly. Wet food tends to be higher in protein and lower in carbohydrates, while also containing more water. This combination has a powerful effect on satiety. Protein triggers stronger fullness signals in the brain, while the moisture content increases the physical volume of the meal. Together, these factors help your cat feel satisfied with fewer calories. Over time, this can lead to a healthier body composition without the need for strict calorie restriction. Your cat may naturally regulate their intake more effectively, reducing the tendency to overeat or constantly seek food. 3. Their coat and skin reveal noticeable improvements. A cat's coat is one of the clearest external indicators of internal health. While grooming habits do play a role, nutrition is the primary factor that determines the quality of a cat's fur and skin. Cats that lack proper nutrients often develop dull, dry coats, excessive shedding, or flaky skin. These issues are not just cosmetic, they signal that the body is not receiving or properly utilizing essential nutrients. Wet food provides a rich source of animal-based proteins and fats, which are crucial for maintaining healthy skin and fur. These nutrients support cell regeneration, improve oil balance in the skin, and contribute to a smooth, glossy coat. Dry food, even when labeled as high quality, undergoes extensive processing at high temperatures. This process can degrade some of the delicate nutrients that are essential for coat health. After switching to wet food, many owners begin to notice gradual but consistent improvements. The fur becomes softer to the touch, shinier in appearance, and less prone to shedding. Skin irritation may also decrease. These visible changes reflect deeper internal improvements. The body is no longer operating in a state of nutritional compromise and can allocate resources toward maintaining optimal condition. Point 4. Their relationship with food becomes calmer and more balanced. Behavior around food is often misunderstood. Many cats are labeled as greedy, demanding, or overly food-focused. However, these behaviors are frequently the result of unmet nutritional needs rather than personality traits. Cats that primarily eat dry food often experience rapid digestion due to its composition. The combination of low moisture and high carbohydrate content means that the food passes through the system relatively quickly, leading to a shorter feeling of fullness. As a result, the cat may begin to exhibit signs of constant hunger. This can include begging, pacing, vocalizing, or waking their owner early in the morning in search of food. When wet food becomes part of the daily routine, this cycle begins to change. The higher protein content promotes longer-lasting satiety, while the added moisture increases the meal's volume and slows digestion. This creates a more stable and satisfying feeding experience. Cats are more likely to eat, feel full, and then disengage from food-related behaviors. Over time, many owners notice that their cats become calmer and less anxious around feeding times. The urgency and desperation that once surrounded meals begin to fade, replaced by a more relaxed and natural pattern. It is important to recognize that environmental factors can also influence behavior. In multi-cat households or stressful environments, some habits may persist. However, improving the diet is often a crucial first step in addressing these issues. Point 5. The overlooked risk that requires attention. Despite the many benefits of wet food, there is one important factor that should not be ignored: proper handling. Unlike dry kibble, which can safely remain in a bowl for extended periods, wet food is highly perishable. Once exposed to air and room temperature, it becomes an ideal environment for bacterial growth. Depending on the temperature of your home, this process can begin within 1 to 2 hours. While the food may still look and smell acceptable to humans, harmful bacteria may already be present. This poses a particular risk for cats that prefer to eat gradually throughout the day. Returning to uneaten wet food after several hours can expose them to potential health issues. To prevent this, it is essential to follow a few simple guidelines. Wet food should not be left out for more than 2 hours. Any uneaten portion should be discarded, and remaining food from the can should be stored in the refrigerator immediately. Additionally, refrigerated food should ideally be used within 48 hours to maintain freshness and safety. Another commonly overlooked detail is serving temperature. Cats are naturally attracted to food that resembles the temperature of fresh prey. Cold food taken directly from the refrigerator may be less appealing. Gently warming the food or adding a small amount of warm water can enhance both its aroma and taste, encouraging better acceptance. Final perspective: feeding your cat wet food daily can provide a wide range of health benefits, from improved hydration and weight management to better coat quality and more balanced behavior. However, the true effectiveness of this diet depends not only on what you feed, but also on how you handle it. Proper storage, timing, and serving methods play a crucial role in ensuring that these benefits are fully realized. When done correctly, feeding wet food is not just a dietary choice, it is a way to align your cat's nutrition with their natural biological needs, supporting a healthier and more comfortable life.